Valentine. The time when romance can be exploited for money.
No, it's true. Everything I do it for money, money, money. I love you like a love song, baby. I love you like a love song, baby.
But enough about that. There won't be any romance in this video. For today we shall talk about sex, porn, fetishes, toys, foreplay.
So, do you like sexual intercourses?
Bam! She's wet, she's lying down. Молодец, Максим.
We'll learn about it all. Now, this is possibly the most touchy subject, seeing how sex unites everyone on this earth.
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's probably the hardest topic to cover, since you Americans always burst into laughter whenever someone says a word. Penis!
This show is so clever.
But sex can blind the minds of people more than anything I've ever witnessed in this life. Yes, even more than this.
I'm a billionaire! I'm a trillionaire! I'm a zillionaire! I'm rich! I'm rich!
Now, I'm probably the only person I know on this earth who doesn't see sex as something worth wanting. Because of this medicine I stick myself with every Valentine's Day. Sex in a carrot! Please your hormones and sex-related dopamines with a single stab! That's the stuff. I'm starting to feel nothing already. Now where were we? Oh yeah. I would rather choose a romantic bonding, for that lasts way longer than sexual beauty.
Do you want to stay the night? You know, I really want to do some cuddling.
No, your time is up. I have to be with the Italian Prime Minister tomorrow.
Now let's shoot this baby for no profit! Camera, blur, action! Nudity detected. Whoops, I forgot that I'm still on YouTube. I thought of a compromise. I'm going to replace every form of nudity with different objects. See this? This will represent on my video a pussy. And these will be tits. And this from now on will be what you call a penis. Hey! I didn't know robots could be so immature!
I'm sorry. I've been programmed to detect such things after all. Where's your sense of humor?
So it shall do or not?
Nudity undetected. Till the next time, Mr. Grumpy Pants.
Grumpy pants? Who the f still uses that as an insult?
It worked on you, did it?
So, let's begin. There are two types of love in my book, romantic and sexual. A romance doesn't necessarily have to lead to sex either. It can exist between friends as well.
Dylan! You son of a bitch. What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
We use romance to hide our pragmatic selves in order to connect with people, or to just simply explain things we don't know in a happy way.
Oh, well, Butters, that's just the friendly compass. See, whenever you have friends in the area, your little compass there tells you where they are. It's pointing up because Jesus is your friend.
Thanks, Dad.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus.
I'd rather leave romance to such things as friendship, loyalty, and socializing for now.
Bros before hoes. Why? Because your bros are always there for you. They have got your back after your hoe rips your heart out for no good reason.
I don't love you.
You push me away like you never even knew me.
We should talk about it next year. Whereas sex is something far more sinister. And we should talk about how it affects human minds right now. Sex!
Don't you say that word! What? Sex! What's so unappealing about hearing your elderly father talk about sex? I had sex!
It is completely natural. As natural as it gets, actually. Naturally, a person will always find someone in their lives attractive, which could lead to sex giving us pleasure in return.
Hey, do you want to get out of here?
What?
Come back to my place, maybe get a little more naked, honest, and revealing?
Oh, no. No thanks.
What about you?
Yeah, okay.
Of course, it isn't always as easy as that, but you get the picture. This way, nature has created a new way of survival for our species. A way to reproduce and spread one seed into future generations.
Fluffy and Fuzzy got married. That night came the honeymoon.
She's faking it.
Later, Fluffy gave birth to 14 beautiful bunnies. 8 survived. And now that you know how it's done, don't do it.
Lately, though, humans have become self-aware of this little pleasure bait nature has created for us in order to make children. Because of that, we've decided to create condoms for those who cannot resist that pleasure of sex and cannot take care of a child. Hey! Hey, Dad! Hey! Dad!
I want your f***ing number! You asshole! Give me your f***ing phone! Give me the phone!
Now we can have sex just for our pleasure, instead of fulfilling our end of a bargain and giving nature more of us earthly parasites. Heck, that makes pleasure the main reason for sex, actually.
But did it feel good though?
Of course, we still have other reasons to reproduce other than pleasure of sex, and willingly too. We call it children.
He is exactly like you in every way. Except 1/8 your size.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
Well, we should probably talk about why we want children in another video. For now, we shall talk a little bit about more self-obsessive reasons.
Let's go, child raper! Let's go, child raper!
One of the biggest reasons people reproduce is the fiction of legacy. Humans, just like animals, always wanted to breed and have their genes passed on to the future, thinking that would make them live after death through someone else.
Renold Blodspill III Hussyclit, true hero and the dominator of the impossible. He has inherited his father's fortune, only to follow in his footsteps and expand the adventurous guild all over the world. He has climbed the highest towers, traversed the nastiest of jungles, saved the catnapped cat in Vietnam, outran a motorcycle in a race, started his own dominant religion, outdrank Putin in his teen years, and beat a kangaroo in a leg fight. Surely this man has no limits, but his greatest achievement is yet to come.
Atta girl! Now bugger off!
Aw, gee, thanks, mister.
Oh, I hope it won't be a girl again.
The last one was hard to get rid of.
I have a son! Once I'll die, my name will live through yours, my dear boy, just as my father's lived through mine. And that means I can finally be myself and do whatever the hell I want. I think I'm going to become a ballerina.
Papa, I want to be a YouTuber.
Oh, son, you could already speak. Truly, my blood runs through your veins. But no, son, just because your mother's a kangaroo doesn't mean you get to ruin my side of the bloodline. You shall be an explorer without free will, just like every man in our family. You have to carry the legacy of the Hussyclit name. Do you want to ruin our dignity?
No.
Then carry the legacy, son! Carry it!
Well, humans aren't as stupid as animals anymore. We all know just because you raise a child, it doesn't mean he's going to follow your footsteps. A lot of us also knows humanity won't last forever either. With a thinking like that, one might wonder, why would you even reproduce at all? All that hard work for nothing.
I am celibate because I don't give a fuck.
Well, Mr. Nihilist,
Allah Akbar!
That doesn't mean we should give up. We humans still need someone to live with and connect you in the present, or we'll become antisocial.
I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely inside real alone.
That is why the other reason people reproduce is to avoid loneliness. One friend, a partner, or a child is usually enough for that, though. Living in one big family of your own and depending on them can bring joy to the biggest of loners. Hi! Hello! Would you like to hear about Jesus Christ? We're creepy and we're loony, mysterious and goofy. We're all together fruity, the Mormon family. The Mormons come to see ya, your doorstep till you meet them. We really are intriguing, the Mormon family. Neat! Sweet! So get the Mormon Bible and throw your old one out. We're gonna teach you ways of the Mormon family. Well, at this point, we know that children don't stay with their parents forever.
Well, I have to go now.
But, to be honest, you shouldn't raise a family expecting to get something out of it.
Carry the legacy! Carry the legacy, son!
My boy, you've been a great son. You are worthy to be my successor and carry on the legacy of the Hussyclit name.
Thanks, Dad, but I and my son have changed our name.
What?
My name is Jeff. Oh, I'm gonna spend all his money. It's a thankless job after all. Well, spending the time with people who care and depend on you should be enough. Speaking of which, that's what your partner is for.
Someday we'll be buried here, side by side, 6 feet under, in matching coffins. Our lifeless bodies rotting together for all eternity.
Cara.
Once a person bonds with a partner though, he still might have sometimes the desire for more pleasure and sexual fantasies that his or her partners cannot provide.
Kleiner? Dr. Breen? I thought what we had was special!
Lust, just like love, isn't technically an emotion, but rather an expression of unconscious emotional memories. Sure, it leads to joy, interest, pleasure, and even excitement, but it is more of a condition every person may experience once they lose their senses.
You put a spin on it by holding it here, and then you can actually hold it like this. Now, listen, guys, it's 5:30. I'm supposed to get home, so I'll see you later. Wait, what were you doing?
A person in lust may neglect the reality and recognize his fantasy more.
Good morning, Fred.
Oh, good morning.
Can you pass me a cup?
I thought you'd never ask.
What are you doing?
I thought that meant you wanted to go to the car and suck my
Has this ever happened to you? Mixed emotions? Different signals that you thought that she wanted you? Well, guess what, bud? She don't wanna you, nigga!
With enough lust, a person may be completely ridden of guilt or shame and get motivated enough to only pursue that lustful goal without reasoning.
He's been ignoring his homework and all of his friends. I can't figure out why.
Many qualities may trigger this lust, and they are all different for every single person, but we'll talk about them later. The desire for sex is called lust, and it is natural in all humans and animals.
I bet you can squeal like a pig. Louder, louder!
Except, most of us are civilized and know how to handle these subconscious thoughts nowadays. Lust is just like violence. Just another instinct we managed to tame, unless you live next to an Irish or Lithuanian bar. On Lithuanian Fights, tonight we have Drunken Master versus Smoking Master.
Round 1. Fight!
But just like any addiction, the more you do of something pleasurable, the less pleasure it will give you, yet you'll still want more of it. Your brain might even forget about anything else this world can offer to you. If a rich, powerful man who can afford to get away with everything he wants gets filled with a lot of lust and loses his sight of reasoning.
Gee, I don't know if we should use our position of power to exploit women.
He might even attempt a rape.
No means no, Bill Cosby.
Now, do keep in mind if there's any triggered feminists watching.
What the fuck did you just say to me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I majored in liberal arts and I was the top of my class in gender studies.
Yeah, whatever.
This what I'm talking about is actual rape. Do not apply these situations to yourselves just because you experienced something like this. Now, how did this stereotype even come to life? Well, this is the part of a video I will mark as the percentage minutes. Percentages? Don't you mean facts? First, I shall talk about the statistics and then give my opinion on it. It's been proven that at least to men, their sexual drive is partially motivated with subcultural reward system, which might objectify females. For us men, visual turn-ons are a bit stronger. As for women, we find erotic images far less attractive. Women do find relationships more of a bigger turn-on than men. It is wholly focused on fantasies and over-exaggerated romantic novels, which might get a bit hazardous. Giving personality to a sexual object, or at least a stereotype. Well, hey, I got a personality now! And I'm ready to fuck! From liking well-dressed gentlemen.
Alright, I'm done being polite.
Done being polite, are you, Governor?
To vampires, or even gory torturers.
Hello, my name is Jason, and I'm more than just a handsome body. I've got feelings too. Feelings like feeling nice after killing a bunch of horny teenagers in the middle of a sunset. Follow me on Tinder.
But we'll talk about them a bit later, since this affects both men and women. For example, everything here that is a majority for a woman instead of a man can also go partly to a man. This is all just based on percentages, of course. It's just more likely among men population that men can be attracted without knowing anything about a person at all. This much easier.
I just want to get to know the real you, not the shorter two-dimensional sex object peddled by Hollywood.
We more or less see sex as a hunt. And what hunt would it be without something to brag about?
Yep, this is where I lost my virginity. Call me sometime.
That is why the main thing that a man usually would find attractive in a woman is quite egocentric. According to porn site statistics, it's nothing other than the expression of a woman at her complete ecstasy, proving to a man that he is doing a good job.
Wow, Ethan, great moves. Keep it up.
After all, nothing turns off men more than realizing someone was just lying to them and stroking their ego.
What are you saying? That they fake orgasm?
It's possible.
Or they hammer faked it with me?
How do you know?
Because I know.
Oh.
You okay?
Oh.
She's faking it.
I'll have what she's having.
Okay, enough of statistics. So, lust can drive all of us towards being complete savages, maybe even making us cheat on our partner. I think just because the statistics say we are like that at our savage animal core, it doesn't mean we haven't learned how to control it. I mean, you don't see people with lustful thinking just straight up raping everyone in the streets. How did humanity manage to lower this mindless lust? By giving more mind to it, of course. We're not bound anymore to what the nature tells us to do, we're smarter.
Там что-то розетка выебывается.
We've got our own consciousness and can pretty much do or don't do anything because of the self-awareness we have. That is why videos like this one exist to answer you. Why can't I stop thinking about it or doing something? Once we find the answers, we get the solutions. Yet again, this is why we've created condoms or learn how to simulate a vagina with a hand.
Why is that able to happen? There's no reason. This is why we have virtual reality.
Wake up, Cole!
Or let's say we've created law enforcement to protect us from criminals.
I'll wreck it on you, motherfucker! I'll wreck it on you!
Of course, there are still a bunch of people who still cannot control themselves in this day and age. Whether it will be a very violent person.
My rafflecopter goes swah swah swatch. Swah swah swatch.
Oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
Or a sexual pervert.
Do the creep! And do the creep!
We have ways of actually satisfying them without them committing those crimes. Completely lowering their uncontrollable instincts and turning them into civilized beings.
Hello, I'm a British person.
Just like violence can be simulated by playing video games.
The object of this game is to save the princess, Farah.
You think you can get to level 10?
Detective, I'm 30 years old, I live with my mother, and I have a Captain Kirk costume in my closet.
We don't give a
Satisfaction of lust can be simulated with such things as porn, toys, or for your partner to dress up in a different way.
Excuse me while I get comfortable.
It can improve a relationship by giving it more spice.
This isn't very erotic. I think it's an actual utility room.
No, honey. It's a romantic fantasy. I imagine I'm the janitor and you're the janitor's wife.
To be honest, men and women find unrealistic fantasy things far more attractive.
The
The things we see on porn, or even virtual porn. Gives us something we'll never find in the real world.
Yes, he was better than you.
Yeah? 1,000,000 times better.
These simulated fantasies will soon replace the need for another partner to begin with.
Oh yes. Yes, do you like what you see?
They took my job!
They'll let us experience sex the way we want it. Gladly, sex and beauty isn't the main reason people fall in love with each other.
You gave me an erection. Shit.
To be honest, a lot of us can't stop ourselves from liking beautiful things.
I can almost taste it.
Beauty is very subjective, of course.
Look at that. That's my aesthetic.
But one factor truly is the most major one. Youth. The younger it is, the more cute and catching it is for the eye. For example, a young kitten before it becomes an old walking carpet, a fresh built mall before it closes down and gets infested with hobos, or people who still have baby soft skin just like in Disney cartoons.
You should clone yourself so you can go fuck yourself.
Sadly, that means the people who are more ugly and repulsive have less chances of going up in this world.
We're gonna be up to our ears in pussy.
So of course, some people want to appeal to their fantasy and hide their aging with such things as makeup. Some think they should go even more extreme. You probably think doing one of them plastic surgeries will let you compete with those fantasies.
Meet Cassandra, a transgender woman featured on E's show Bosch who seeks to resemble Jessica Rabbit.
Well, good luck with that. Sex, when it's not used for reproduction, is just for our own personal pleasure.
Mine.
Shake that bottom.
Many relationships focused only on pleasure of sex rather than bonding and survival wouldn't last long, especially when your partner grows old.
Janie accuses me of chasing jailbait. She bursts into angry tears, asking if it's because she's getting older. It's true.
Damn, you got old!
Without morals, one might move on to another person, or to just simply play alone with these toys away from his partner for the rest of his life. All what remains from sex is just pleasure. Oh, and what pleasure it is! Now, I've never fallen in lust with anyone before, but observing mankind, I've realized how easy it is to manipulate others with desire to have at one short experience of climax.
Stand aside, and I will use my powers to overwhelm the guard. Behold, the deed is done.
Now let us talk about the goal manipulation.
Not this one!
Goal manipulation is basically what we are told since the very childhood we should achieve.
Alright, grandson, what I'm here about to show you in this book is my every life achievement. You want to be as cool as me? You gotta get them all. Oh, I sure had fun with that one. Yeah, that damn is your daddy. Wait, I didn't do this one yet.
We are told we need something, so we think we do. That's why Americans care so much about materialistic items they don't even need, because they were born in a very capitalistic society.
Hey, kid!
Hi!
So, that's a neat toy you're playing with.
Yep.
I lied!
Throw it away! Look at all my fancy stuff! Monster trucks, jetpacks, the pool, my trophy wife, my very own mansion! Don't you want any of this? Of course you do! Otherwise you're a loser! And in this world there's only winners and losers, son! Which one are you? A winner! And that's why you gotta aim for the stars, kid! Why are you telling me this, mister?
My manager says it's bad for my image not to have any friends. Would you like to be one?
I'm gonna go.
Hey! Wait, come back! I'll pay you $10,000!
Now apply this goal manipulation to sex. Guys, just like girls, set the norms like without sex you're a failure. Sometimes even pushing those who do not care for sex as much into the desire to have it at least once before they die.
You're looking at a free lunch, boys. Come and get it.
Ugh, back to the lock with you, Nessie.
Just like when that guy offers you that first bottle of alcohol and calls you a pussy for refusing it.
You dare question my hospitality?
Sometimes people even start using sex as means to prove that they have achieved something in their life.
When I had the sex, man, my penis felt great, and I called my parents right after I was done.
When literally it just takes a bunch of romantic words, a drink, confidence, money, or a lot of muscles.
No, it's a lot! The hair, the...
This of course plays with that egocentric reward system us men are more focused on.
Hello, 911 emergency. There's a handsome guy in my house. Oh, wait a second, cancel that. It's only me.
As where women would brag about their relationship almost just as much. Then, once your sexual duty is done and the pleasure has been experienced, you can brag about it to others, thus the cycle continues.
Sexual intercourses?
Despite what I said about sex so far, do keep in mind that it also can lead to romance.
Showtime.
You want your brownie in there too, Cuddles?
Brownies? Yes, thank you.
Sometimes sex, instead of giving both partners just pleasure, can also even create couples who would give a chance at a relationship.
Something's wrong.
What is it?
I don't know. I feel weird. Like I want to spend more time with you, even though I know we just had sex.
Oh, okay.
Just don't expect for the person you just had sex with to actually share a bond with you.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, there's coffee.
Ah, thanks. Hey, I wasn't trying to sneak out.
Oh, you're still here? Let's make that coffee to go, huh, Heracles?
A romantic bond is something much more than just desire for sex, and it shouldn't identify your sexuality.
I want to do things with you, fully clothed, sober, in daylight hours.
Okay.
I don't understand these feelings. Let's get food.
Because finding some traits attractive in a person doesn't necessarily mean you love him in a sexual way. It could be just the romantic concept of friendship.
Let's grow old together in every way.
Every way.
Family or business.
I know it was you, Fredo.
You sold my Bitcoin.
You sold my Bitcoin.
No matter what type of bond it is though, friendship, devotion, or sexual, if it doesn't work both ways, usually the other partner would just leave him hanging with his heart broken, because he's not fit for him. A romantic bond, unlike sexual bond, hurts way more once it's broken. This is because once you trust your partner 100%, your mind enters a comfort zone.
3, 2, 1 second. Hello?
Some call it being in a loving relationship. Suddenly being taken out of that comfort zone can cause psychological trauma. That feeling might turn him into a weak, depressive crybaby.
God damn it, Shane, stop it! Shane, don't do this! No! Shane! No! Oh my God! No! For the love of mankind!
Or an obsessed stalker crybaby.
Show me your genitals. Your genitals. What? Show me your genitals.
He might experience pain just by looking at photographic images of that person, as his memories would become painful. When if you're in a good relationship with that person, it would make you feel better instead. That heartbroken stage is what I call get over it stage.
There are some things a woman never forgets! Crud, I'm in for a long life.
It's extremely painful. But with time you can forget the partner if you find a bond with something or someone else. Hopefully not alcohol.
Ah, beer! You're the only thing I love in this whole wide world.
It's true.
Now, forgetting the bondage. We go back to the pleasure. Pleasure's like that kind of bondage.
Yes! Yes!